Hello, hi everyone. I am Marat Prasad. Okay, in this video we will discuss about Salesforce REST web services, how we can create web service and how we can test the REST web service. We will see everything in this video. Okay, before discussing about that, um, so already I have uploaded some Salesforce interview questions related videos. So this is my channel like Salesforce Start. So these are the some important Salesforce interview questions, and nowadays these questions only in the interview are asking. If you like these videos, please watch it and subscribe my channel. Okay, and okay, so what is web service in Salesforce? Actually, uh, in Salesforce we have two types of integrations like REST web service and SOAP web service. In this video, we will discuss about REST web service and how we can create Salesforce REST web service on our Salesforce org, and how we can test that web service using some Postman tool or SOAP UI tool. We will see that everything in this video. Okay, okay. First of all, what is REST web service? REST means like a representation state transfer. So generally, when we will use REST web service, generally to, for example, if we want to implement any lightweight applications, mobile applications, and if we have some less data, then we can go for REST web service. Okay, uh, s- uh, um, and to implement web service, REST web service, what are the prerequisites we need? Okay, to implement REST web service, first we need to uh, annotate with the class with at the rate REST resource annotation, and here we need to pass URL mapping parameter here. Okay, and this REST web service will contains 5 methods like post, put, patch, get, delete. These methods will be contained in the REST web service. Okay, what is the post and what is the put and everything we can see here. Like get means to get the data from Salesforce, we will use HTTP get. To insert data to the Salesforce, we will use HTTP post. For example, if you want to delete records in Salesforce, we will use delete. Um, and here the main difference between put and patch is generally put we will use for upset and patch is for update records. That is the only difference. Sometimes we will confuse like when we will use put, when we will use patch. Okay, for upsertion time we can go for put annotation. Okay, these are the annotations available in the REST web service, and we will see each annotation how we can use in REST class. Okay. Okay, for example, some SAP or some third party tool anyone want to connect, any tool connect want to connect to our Salesforce R, what first we need to do in the our Salesforce R. Okay, for example, in the SOAP we can use session ID, but in the REST web service we need access token. So for example, if we need if you want access token, what are the things we need to do in the Salesforce? For example, if you want to generate access token from third party, we need to create one connected app in the Salesforce our Salesforce R. Like where we can create connected app in our Salesforce R. Directly we can go our Salesforce R here. Uh, just search with apps here and click on apps. See here we can create connected apps. Just click on new button. Um, so here we need to give connected app name and connected app. If you want to give any email, you can give. And how which for example, if you want to give full access to this Salesforce R, then we can select full access from here, and everything we can do here. Okay, um, see here we can give connected app name, anything like API name, same whatever the name is, here giving label name, same thing applicable here. And if you want to give email, and here we need to enable OAuth settings. Here we need to give callback URL, like if you want to give any, for example, to generate access token we need to provide some URL, right? So that we can give any URL here, like uh, generate access token, service, or anything we can give any URL here. Okay, and here we need to select here full access. For example, third party want full access, our Salesforce are full access, we need to select full access. These are the main things we need to consider here: name, AP name, email, and callback URL, and full access. Once we enter these details and after clicking save button, okay, so already I have created one connected app. I will show you what will happen once we created that. Like it will generate consumer ID, consumer secret. Okay, if we click save button, this app will be looking like this here only. So it will generate consumer key and consumer secret. Using this consumer key and consumer secret, we will enter these details in the grant type, and we can call this URL. So once we call this URL, it will generate access token. Okay. For example, I will show you how we can generate access to. For example, if how we can see now how we can connect Postman to our Salesforce. So already I have added, I think, Postman REST client. Okay. So yeah, generally we can use Postman or SOAP UI tool. Some tools are available. Postman REST client API. So using this, we can check. We can test our web services, REST web services. Okay. Um, okay. Uh, this is the Postman tool here, and nothing but a REST client API. Here, using these methods, we can test. First, we will connect to Salesforce, or then we will see what will happen. Everything after that. Okay. For example, if you want to connect our Salesforce, what we need to do here? Okay. This is the callback URL we need to provide in the endpoint in the Postman here. Okay, already is there. So after that, we need to pass this consumer key, consumer secret, our Salesforce username, password, and security token. So this is the format we need to follow here, like this. So we need to pass this body in the request. Then it will Salesforce will return to the access token like this. Okay, it will return like this JSON body. So we will see. So for example, already here here we need to. This is the syntax we need to pass in the body, in the request of anything. Like for example, if you want to send, if you want to call from SAP, you need to pass this body in the SAP HTTP request body. Okay. So here we need to add client ID and client secret, Salesforce username, and our password along with security token. Okay. For example, already in my org, I am there is there is no restriction for any login IP ranges. So that's why in my org I am not using any security token. So for example, sometimes we need to put only some specific login ranges. We need to call. We need to open our Salesforce. Then we need to add your security token. Okay. See, for example, in my profile settings already, I have set login IP ranges like 0 to 255, so that I don't need to do anything. I don't need to add any security token. Okay, I will show you one minute. So in my profile already I have mentioned some login IP ranges like yeah, I will access see in the login IP ranges I have mentioned like 0 to 255 so that my org will be accessed from anywhere else. Okay, so that's why I am not mentioning your security token. From in your case you need to add security token here. Okay, once you enter client ID, client secret, username, and password, just we need to pass this body in the request. Just click on body, just paste here, and this is our callback URL. Whatever we mentioned in the connected app, this is callback URL, client ID, consumer key, consumer secret, username, password, and we need to pass this type of request like this only. Grant type. This is the predefined syntax only. We need to follow this to call web services. And okay, along with we need to set headers. In the headers we need to set content type equals to application your form URL encoded. Once we set this header and once we add this body, then click on send button. So it is loading, so it will connect to Salesforce org. So it will generate access token. Now once we got access token from Salesforce, we will hit our we will call Salesforce REST class, and we can perform many actions like post, put, delete, and all those things. For example, now it is generated access token. Okay, so using this access token, we can call uh, we can uh, we can call our Salesforce REST class. So I will show you like how we can call our Salesforce REST web service now using REST resource annotation. Okay, okay. I will explain it again. For example, if you want to generate access token in a Salesforce, so we need to follow this predefined syntax. Password, client ID, client. We need client ID, client secret, username, password, and security token. We need to paste this one in the body here, and we need to set headers like application slash URL encoded, form URL encoded. This is the callback URL. Then click on send button. It will generate the access token. Okay. Once we generate access token, using this access token, we can call the Salesforce real-time web service classes. For example, I will write sample class here. I will show you how we can do this like this to connect our Salesforce or REST service test. Okay. Remember, always web service classes we need to use global keyword only. Okay. And for example, if you want REST web service, we need to use @REST resource annotation. Okay. @REST resource annotation. Here we need to do URL mapping equal to like we will use account object and we'll see all those things. So I'm giving name like account service. Okay. So this is the predefined syntax for REST web service. So for example, uh, okay, for example, uh, our any third party like for example here we are using REST client API Postman. For example, SAP wants to connect to Salesforce server. So we need to provide these connected up connected up details as well as this class URL also, this class. So now we need to provide this class URLs like what is the URL for this class. So directly we can do like this. Our Salesforce instance slash services slash apex rest slash our URL mapping here, whatever is there. So this is the URL we need to provide to the third party. For example, SAP. In this case, we are using just consider this is a Postman is a SAP. So we need to provide connected app details as well as this URL also. Once they generate an access token, using this access token, they will call this this service, our class, whatever we are implementing now. This class they will call. Okay. For example, I will write sample post method here. So in the generally we know right in the post method we can insert the data from the third party. Okay. So I am creating sample method here. Just remember, always we need to use global keywords and static keyword in the method, and string return type is string, and do post. Okay. I will return something like post method called from SAP. Okay. So just think this is a simple class only. For example, we want to call SAP to this class. Okay. Uh, Here nothing is there. Just we will call this post method. Just we'll try to how we can call and all those things. I will show you now. So after access token is generated, so here we need to observe like this. This is the access token. and this is our Salesforce URL only, base URL, and sandbox, or we can check your login.salesforce.com, and the token type, this token is bearer. So we need to pass this token in the headers once we generate access token. For example, if you want to call this class from SAP, so we need to give, this is the endpoint URL here. Okay, and we need to first set headers, like we need to put headers here, like up content type is generally is our rest of service will support for JSON and XML. So here I'm taking application slash JSON, and authorization, we need to pass authorization. Like how we can pass authorization? So this is the syntax, whatever the we are getting from token type equal to bearer, and we need to give space here, and we need to copy this access token and paste here. Okay, just remember thing, for example, if you want to test our web service, we need to use these two headers. One is content type, one is authorization. How we will do authorization? Using access token. How we will get this access token? So like previously I have explained, using get callback URL and this predefined body, we can generate access token. Once we got access token, we can do anything, we can call any class in the Salesforce. Okay, so I have added these two, and for example, now I want to call post method, right? Account service. Just nothing, nobody is required, just I'm uh, just see once our class is saved or not. Still it is saving. I will refresh my page once again. So here in this class I have not written any code, just I'm using only simple class only, just I'm printing some debug only here. Okay, so again I have to write rest resource URL mapping. So uh, account, I'm giving, this is the unique name for our to contact our class, and wild called. So class should be global. Okay, so once class is saved here, so I need to use, I will test with the HTTP post annotation post. So class, everything we need to use global only. For example, if you want to call this class in outside of the organization, global static methods only. Static string to post. Okay, just I'm returning something. Post method called successfully. Okay, so just we'll test. We will check with this postman how we can call this class. Okay, so I'm giving here class URL, like this is the Salesforce base URL. Then we need to follow this syntax: services slash apex rest slash account service. Once we entered this endpoint URL, we need to add headers. We need to add headers here. Content type equal to slash JSON, and authorization, whatever the your token type along with the token. Once we add these two details, just in our rest of service we are not we don't have any parameters and body, so no need to enter any body error. Just click on send. It will return the this string post method call successfully. Just check, let me check, we'll see what will happen here now. See, post method call successfully. See, so here we need to select post method, our web service class, and we need to set headers here like application slash JSON and authorization for this token. Once we enter all this, just we can call this method post method. For example, if we want to call remaining methods like all those things, just we'll call get method, http get, do get. I'm saving my class. Now we will check how get method will work here. So I will be selecting a get method. I'm clicking on send button. See here, get method called successfully. So like that, here based on our HTTP annotation, we need to select post, put, patch, and all those things. We need to enter our Salesforce URL, class URL, REST web service. This is the our URL mapping here. Whatever this thing, okay. This is the predefined syntax. Like this is Salesforce base URL till here. Services slash Apex REST. This will indicate the REST web service and URL mapping class URL mapping. That's it. This is the callback endpoint URL we need to give to the Salesforce. For example, SAP wants to connect Salesforce, we need to give this endpoint URL. Okay. And for example, we will insert some sample data into the Salesforce and we'll see string account name, string phone. Okay. We will insert those data to the we will add that body is equal to here. So this is dot phone equal to, so I am inserting this account and return with the ID so that we can understand the account is created like this. Okay. So generally we know, right, this REST web service will support for both JSON and XML. So now we will pass some JSON data here. Okay. Insert. Okay. Class is saved. We will pass this JSON body from the post method. We'll see how we can pass. Okay. Just click on body here. So to post, we need to use for post method only we can use bodies. For example, you select get, we cannot pass any body here. Okay. Body means get means we will get the data from Salesforce. So that's why I don't need to pass any body. If you set post method, we need to pass some data to the our Salesforce system. Okay, here I'm selecting post some body here. So I'm passing some data into the JSON format. Okay. So string class account name equals to Vara Prasa rest. So this is the JSON format we need to send data. Okay, and phone equals to 56756 some anything name. Okay, and so this is case sensitive. So we need to follow same syntax here. See, once we enter perfect data, error will be removed from the here body. Okay. Now we are entering account name and phone here. We are passing from this HTTP post method. So here we have defined post method. You are passing account name, phone, inserting account. post method called from successfully and is account ID. Just click on send button. See here, post method called successfully and record account ID. We can check with this account ID like account details and all in our Salesforce arc. Okay. Super Prasad phone number. So this is the way we can test REST web services from Postman or SOAP-UI. If you want to test anything, so these are the prerequisites. First, we need to create one connected app in the Salesforce. Okay, this is the connected app. We need to create connected app. In the connected app, we can generate. It will generate the client ID, client secret, callback URL, and we need once we generate this connected app, we need to use. We need to pass this in the request body. For example, if you want to pass this in the, if you want to call from SAP, then we need to pass in the HTTP request this body, requested body, this one. And for example, if you want to test with the normal Postman, just we can put here post method and callback URL here and select headers here like uh, content type equals to URL file encoded, and here we need to pass that body here. Once we pass this body here, it will generate access token like this. Once we got the access token, we can do anything. If you want to call post method, if you want to call any web service, any class in the, we can call any class from the Salesforce. For example, this like this account service. We have just no sample class. So, uh, just these are the main points we need to consider at the time of testing all those things. So, I will show you another way how we can generate access token. So, okay, for example, previously we are passing data here and we generating as token, right? So I will show you how we can, in the Postman we can check what are the actions we have performed till now. So okay, so here we need to pass, for example, previously we are passing body here. So now we will, I will show you how we can generate access token in another way. Okay, so first we need to set header is equal to here application slash URL included, URL form included here, and this headers needs to be compulsory. We need to enter to generate access token. This is the headers we need to follow. In the request headers we need to enter this one, and here directly we can pass our grant type and all those things here. Previously we added this one in the body, right? So we will remove body now. Directly we can enter here. We can pass parameters to the that class and click on enter this grant type. Click on params, you can see whatever we have passed, all those details will be here available. Grant type equal to password, client ID, client secret, username, password. Just we need to add question mark and we need to pass this grant type here. So now no need to pass any body, just we need to enter the headers and we need to add directly the URL parameter to the this grant type, whatever we have created body, request body. So now just click on send button, we will see output how it will come. Okay, just click on send button. See, it is also generating access token. So like this we can generate access token in two ways. Directly we can pass that this body in uh, Postman body itself here, raw data. Otherwise we can pass in the post method directly URL itself. So like this we can generate access token. Once we got access token, we can call our Salesforce class directly from our Salesforce services. So like this only we can call any methods like post, get, anything, remaining methods, patch, put, all those things. Generally, for example, if you want to, when we will use get method, if you want to display our some example SAP wants to fetch data from Salesforce and display in their table, when we go for HTTP get method like this. Okay, for example, I will show you sample example in get method also. Okay, we'll return some list of accounts. Okay, before that we'll do one thing. This is the newly accessed generated token, we need to use this one only. in the class. Okay, headers. Here we need to change a newly generated, otherwise it will throw error like session timeout, access token is invalid, like this it will throw error message. Okay, this is the 5H jet. So okay, now we will show, I will write sample or another get method here, list of accounts do get. Okay, and for example we'll pass some account id and we'll get data from Salesforce. Okay, for example if you want to pass parameters in the URL, we need to use REST request object or REST response objects. So I'll create a REST request object, request equals to REST context dot request. Okay, see for example we'll pass here account id and we'll get display data from there. String account id equals to request dot, we can pass like this. So I'm pasting code as it is here. This is using REST request object. We can pass data, we can pass parameter, and we can display data from the third party system. There itself, we can display data from Salesforce. So for example, account ID request dot request URI and all those things. So what is the syntax here? Like request URI means complete URL, whatever we are mentioning here. Complete. This is uniform resource identifier. So whatever is there here, request URL substring of last index of slash. So what we are entering after slash here, so that will be considered as a account id. Okay, so we'll receive account id here, so we'll check with the debugs. So we'll add some debug for to test results, and we can query account data. Account accounts equal to comma name comma phone from account, where id equal to whatever SAP team is passing id. Based on that id, we need to display details. Okay, we will return this list of accounts here. Okay, save. Okay, class is saved, right? So we will use now get method here. Get method. So here get method, we will pass parameter any id here. Id equal to, we'll pass this id and click on send button. Body JSON. We'll see what will have what happened here. It is called web service or not. We'll check debug logs. What will have what happened after calling debug method. So account id equal to account service. Account service, we are passing id here. Account service, getting account service. So okay, we'll change like this only, where name equal to um, where it is list of accounts. Set id comma name from account. So we will pass your id once again. We can't send. So check it from body. Here we can see, right, status equal to 200, time taken, and we are using passing this id and it returns the Varaprasad and details. So like this we can use the get method here. So same thing applicable for all the methods. For example, if you want to pass any parameters, we need to use REST request object in the uh, REST web service. So like this we can test any REST web service using Postman. First of all, just remember these points only. To first of all, to connect Salesforce, or we need Salesforce credentials. Like Salesforce credentials means we need client ID, client secret, and client ID, client secret, and callback URL. Okay, so these things we need. How we can generate this? First, we need to create connected app in the Salesforce. Then we need to provide these details to the third party. Third party means either, for example, in this case, Postman is a third party. By using these credentials, they will generate access token. Once they generate access token, using this access token, they will call our Salesforce classes. Okay, so that directly we can test our Salesforce classes by using the Postman tool also directly itself. So like this, we can do everything. Uh, so I will show you some remaining important points here. Okay. See, these are the class. We need to use REST resource on the class, and URL mapping. We need to follow some unique name here. For example, here, and this is our Salesforce base URL, and this is the predefined we need to pass. Like it will indicate the which service we are using now. Services slash apex rest slash our URL mapping name. Okay, and these are the methods available in the post put. Already we discussed all those things. A difference between put and patch is put means upset, patch means update. And if you want to pass any parameter, see, if absence means always we need to use global static keywords, and inside we, for example, if you want to call any Salesforce, we need to use HTTP classes only. These are the main points, and so it will generally in the web, if you will write SOAP web service, there return type should be void there, but here we can return type primitive data type as objects all from the REST web service. Okay, if you want to pass any parameters, we need to use the REST request. Example, just now we saw a, uh, in the get method, right? Here we can from there we are passing parameters, then we are catching that parameters from this syntax, and we are adding that fetching the accounts and displaying the details from the third party like this. Okay, and remaining points, URL mapping is case sensitive, so we need to follow this also main. And get and delete method do not support any parameters directly. For example, here we are adding parameters in the method, right? So we can add parameters in the method like post, put, patch, but get and delete method will not contain any parameters in the method. Okay, and okay, this is the basic syntax to retrieve the id from the URL. Okay, that's all from this video, and we'll see in the next video directly how we can connect the Salesforce to Salesforce using REST web services, so that we can easily understand. We can check that one, and once we do that one, so that we can do any integration from REST web service. For example, anything SAP to Salesforce, Salesforce to SAP, anything. Okay. Thanks, guys. That's all from this video. If you like this video, please subscribe, and we'll see in the next video. We will do some real-time integration between the Salesforce to Salesforce. Now in this video, just we are using like a postman tool, how we can generate access token, how we can pass that access token to the body, and we can call date to REST web service class. Okay guys, thanks, and have a nice day. Bye.